Hi everybody, and welcome to a game that is called the Outworlds. That I don't know anything about. Just downloaded it, so I just want to go and see what this game's about. Gotta wait for this game to load up, and yeah. I mean, technically it's nearly downloaded, like 92%. So basically load up soon. Uh, Alright, let's try again. Take two.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony. Hundreds of thousands of colonists live their trip working forever just to keep from damaging the woman's bottom line. Disgraceful. Must remember not to sneeze near you. Two left feet, huh? No matter, bored outlawed dancing years ago. Ah, a blunt force trauma specialist. I might have a job for you. Good for you. Don't let the board tell you what you're meant to be. Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump. Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down. It drives inoperable. Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of space and forced to complete its journey at sunlight speed. Which means that you and every other colonist on Earth have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes. Not to worry. I pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully never, but I guess we'll see. Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck.
Ah!
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. Seems to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All colonists are counting on you.
Hold for him. Impact.
You landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in Law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. I've gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go. You see now, you've been frozen for a while. Bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Ow.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, well, that stinks.
Sit still. I've had you.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange for my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
How are you feeling?
Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some adrenal time. We were out of control. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
What about this?
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
I got a better idea. You give me your gun and I'll go and get help.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Can you tell me where I am?
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Do you know anything about hope?
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
I'm off.
Damage my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Go on, that rung leech. Landing in a veil without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
So I heard. I found one of your teammates. He's in a cave.
Really? How is he?
He'll make it. I helped him with the pain.
Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, need a couple of wakes to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
Do Space Choice guards back down from a challenge?
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go. Recovery ammo.
Fine bonus. This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
What are you going to do? Self-destruct?
Generator procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarding.
Oh, why did I say that for?
4, 3, 2, 1.
You're right. You realize that we are on the ground,
You
right?
are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
I need to get this. How is health thrown shit?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Hawthorne was supposed to meet me when I landed.
I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location.
He met my escape pod, alright, head first.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
Okay, but I'm not.
I understand. You are speaking metaphorically. You wandered outside this ship and experienced a permanent, life-changing encounter. The old you is dead. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. I extend felicitations and congratulations on your life-changing experience.
You don't understand. My name is Spyro. Well,
I understand. You are going undercover with an alias. I will update my discretion protocol accordingly. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
What am I? What am I supposed to find something like that?
The settlement of Edgewater is located nearby. I recommend speaking to the administrator of Edgewater and requesting assistance. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Knock it off with Captain. No.
It is difficult for me to do so. I am programmed to accept commands from Captain Alex Hawthorne, after all. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
Really? After I helped your friend?
Yeah, fair point. I'll let it go this time. If you're looking to help us out with our marauder problem, talk to Constable Reyes over at Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Take care. Alright, guys. So, yeah. Technically when I basically start recording this is like 4 a.m. Probably when I basically finish recording it's gonna be like.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend.
How do you know I'm not
You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
I never got your name. I'm Spiral.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Who do I talk about getting a power?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
It depends on the work. Are you offering me a job?
Edgewater is a company town, board owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see.
You want to go and collect what owned you? You're making people pay for their own graves.
Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge.
Why can't you collect these fees yourself?
Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of graves to fill. Bodies won't bury themselves, you know.
Alright, I'll do it.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He is a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
Why is a special case?
He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
Where can I find these people?
Conrad's got a barber shop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy, I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
I don't know what was that noise, but early on I heard just like 2 minutes ago I heard it going. "Ah."
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Relax, I'm clean.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
I'm here to collect your dues. Prepare for my remains for what?
Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality, is what a barber does. We make you presentable.
Speaking of, sent me to collect your.
Gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
You mean you broke?
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. My apologies.
Hang on. Medical right?
Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I've proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. Barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings.
Just give an IOU.
Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions.
I don't know if I think of anything.
Much obliged. Yes, Mr. Thompson. Did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not playing. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
Take it easy. He didn't send me.
And what are you doing here? Visiting? Well, let me give you the grand tour. This here's my domicile, and there's the door.
So you're Marty. Marty?
What? No. I mean, might be. Depends on who's asking.
I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just here to collect your fees.
Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows.
Knows what?
I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You are? Oh, wow. First time anyone's ever told me that. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelance it for me, I could really use the help.
How can I help?
There's the cache of ampicillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me.
I'll do it.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Lord, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
Anything I should know about this community center?
Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives.
You're taking an awful risk. Trust me. No.
I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and broke me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did find my courage.
I'll leave you.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy. Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Ampicillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead.
Why do you need it?
I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do.
That's not shoddy at all.
I'm doing right by the town, I'll tell you that much. You bring me that medicine and I'll see that it goes to the right people.
Nothing.
That's all I can ask of you.
Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
I'm guessing you are foreman.
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
I'm here to collect.
Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment.
These papers aren't signed in your name.
Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
That's kinda. What? You have to pay your neighbors?
If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame though. Eugene was a good worker.
You said this guy shot himself.
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
That's awful. Must be tough losing family.
Eugene wasn't family.
I thought you said he was closest.
Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
What are they gonna do to arrest his corpse?
When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
It was a person, not a arrest.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all, and his evidence be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Hey, you're welcome.
Wish we had some better rations.
We should keep our voices down.
The office is running a promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
If you need help with your mental problem,
As a Spacer's Choice Constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
I got some questions for you if you don't
As
mind.
long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Do the name Wells means anything to you?
His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual?
He's a scientist with a car.
I am obliged to warn you against forming acquaintanceships, friendships, partnerships, or any felicitous relationship with a wanted criminal. I am also obliged to inform you of our referral program. For every criminal you refer to the authorities, the board will reward you.
It saved my life, and I want to know why. What's him dead?
I am obliged to remind you that questioning the veracity of the board's orders is a punishable offense. Consider this your last warning.
How long have been after him?
Wells has been wanted for as long as the board decides he has been wanted. This decision will be made in accordance with Wells's behavior upon arrest. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority.
There was one other thing.
Something to report? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
So, do you work for Spacer's Choice or Ed?
If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice.
Why do Space Choice answer to?
Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the board. I must admit it bothers me that you don't already know this.
No, I'm kind of new. So you're basically
Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Grandma died.
What can I do for you?
you sound like you know some training. I think.
Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor?
Only if we use the term doctor. So you're very close.
You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow worker is my responsibility, alive or otherwise. Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great cannery in the sky, it's my job to make you look like a million bits. Go ahead.
What do you know about this place?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
So what are the side effects?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
Why don't you treat all your work?
Company policy, friend. We don't don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
So whose idea was that?
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
You seem pretty about this place.
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
Sounds exhausting.
As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work.
That's off now. Yeah, I know the first episode is kind of long, but I want to basically show you a bit of the game first before entering it, so yeah. And I'm probably going to call this episode Out of This World, because technically, yeah, this game is technically like that, so yeah. Hello?
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit?
Hey, about those fees,
You run into any trouble?
he can't afford to pay.
Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skip out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room.
Are you suggesting exploitation?
That's the word, extortion. I know the tip of my tongue all day.
So technically, you want me to sabotage him to pay. Yeah. I know about Eugene. Why not just use his teeth as your...
You know about Eugene? How?
I found a note from Phyllis.
Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave.
I'm sure he won't miss them.
That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Well, you're gonna have to.
Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Greg site papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
I'm told Eugene killed himself. So what happened?
Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatine, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. Paranoia drove him to take his own life.
That's horrible.
It's a miracle of bureaucracy. If Eugene's death were filed as a suicide, we'd all pay the price for his crime. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with the suicide.
Goodbye.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to me and says, "You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your wrestling stick. I want to make sure you're up to snuff."
What are you babbling about?
The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just my luck. I asked for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folks. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanical. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I see them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
Uh, Sent me. You own him his fleet.
I told Travis I paid my dues and he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he finally heard the calling.
If your resistance needs another gun, I'm behind.
I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Some tuna cans, mostly. Some spacer's chaw. Few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid.
Proper pay unlimited fees.
Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name.
What do you need?
They have sent a scout prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. The scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
I'm going after the script. I could use a couple.
Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsection. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Got a question for you.
Go on.
What exactly do you do with it?
I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially? Unofficially? Strictly between you and me. I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and nary a word of complaint out of your clients.
Hey, hey,
You run into any trouble?
I'm all done.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to.
I went out of my way for you. Was trying to hide it.
Abernathy was sick with the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy.
He was convinced you knew. Yeah, it's not the word.
I needed his fees because of his name. A for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
I was hoping for some more.
Suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Yeah?
This town must be in pretty bad shape. If you keep going, wait.
You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater sapsocks near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds.
You're not worried about falling sick?
Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed.
How long have you been?
Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one. All my life, work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees.
You lose lots of people.
Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
What are they after?
Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna dock my pay.
Thanks for your time. Alright, so anyway, I'm gonna go and... Alright. So in the next episode, we are going to go and do the side quests, and yeah, and then continue with the main story. Anyway, guys, if you guys have enjoyed this first episode, please like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.